story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello, I am Samia Mohammed, your host for this hour's news. Stay tuned. Let's start with Tanzania. Tanzania's parliament on Thursday unanimously approved the appointment of Mwigulu Nchemba as the country's new prime minister following his nomination by President Samia Suluhu Hassan. Speaking of parliament, Musa Azan Zungu announced the result in the House of Chamber in Dodoma, the capital, drawing applause from lawmakers in attendance. Of the 371 members present, 369 voted in favor through a secret ballot, while 2 votes were declared valid. Nchemba, an economist and seasoned politician from the ruling Chama cha Mapinduzi party, previously served as the Minister for Finance. He succeeds Kassim Majaliwa, who had held opposition for a decade. Nchemba, 50, represents the Iramba West constituency in Parliament. The appointment makes him the 12th Prime Minister since Tanzania's independence in 1961. In his acceptance speech, Nchemba pledged to prioritize the welfare of Tanzanians and work diligently to advance national development goals. He was officially sworn in later in the day by Hassan at the Chamwino State House of the outskirts of Dodoma. The signing and unveiling ceremony for the first China-Africa Joint Medical Center agreement was officially held on Wednesday at the Sino-Guinean Friendship Hospital in Conakry. The agreement was signed by Shane Hombing, Deputy Head of the National Health Commission and Head of National Disease Control and Prevention Administration of China, and Guinean Minister of Health and Public Hygiene, Omar Diohe Bah. The agreement aims to meet Guinea's public health needs through the joint establishment of the new medical center by leading medical institutions in Beijing and the Sino-Guinean Friendship Hospital. Through technology transfer, talent training, standard setting, quality control, research collaboration and industrial development, the initiative seeks to develop the hospital into a regional center in West Africa for precision diagnosis and treatment of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, minimally invasive surgery and AI-assisted medical care. Guinean Prime Minister Amadou Oriba expressed gratitude to the Chinese medical teams that have assisted Guinea over the years, voicing hope to draw on China's medical expertise to train a new generation of Ghanaian cardiologists, neurologists, and surgeons to build an independent and sustainable healthcare system for the country.
El Dorado, a land of wealth, a future of limitless possibilities. This is El Dorado. From natural rich to groundbreaking innovations, discover Africa's untapped potential. El Dorado.
As we know, Africa is endowed with significant amount of minerals.
Africa, rich in critical energy minerals like lithium, cobalt, and rare earth elements, offers transformative investment opportunities as the world shifts toward a clean energy transition.
Africa needs to ensure that this demand translates into tangible benefits for our people, fostering inclusive and sustainable growth at home.
El Dorado, unveiling Africa's global potential.
Namibian President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah on Thursday pledged to double the creative sector contribution to the country's gross domestic product from 1.5% to 3% within the next 5 years. Nandi-Ndaitwah made the pledge during the 26th Bank of Namibia annual symposium held in Namibia in a statement delivered on her behalf in the capital, Windhoek. The president said that Namibia's future would not be determined by its underground resources, but by the creativity and innovation of its people. The creative economy, which includes film, music, fashion, design, gaming and digital content is one of the world's fastest growing sectors, generating over $2.3 trillion annually and contributing over 3% to global GDP, she noted. To capitalize on this global trend, she said the government has made the creative industries a core pillar of its 6th National Development Plan. Nandi Ndaitwah meanwhile encouraged the youth to transform from being consumers of global content to producers of uniquely Namibian stories, products and ideas, emphasizing their creativity is an economic force. Australia's ambassador to Ethiopia affirmed his country's support for ensuring that Africa's voice is heard loud and clear on the global stage. Australia's ambassador to Ethiopia, Dr. Peter Hunter, has granted an exclusive interview to Pulse of Africa, underscoring the depth and breadth of relations between the two nations. Dr. Hunter noted that partnership spans people-to-people connections, scholarships, trade and investment, with many Ethiopians in the diaspora contributing productively to Australia's economy and society. He emphasized that Australia is working closely with both the Ethiopian people and government to strengthen cooperation. The ambassador praised Ethiopia's ongoing economic reforms, stating that they are boosting investor confidence and opening new opportunities. He highlighted Australia's role as a major participant in the mining sector, while also expressing interest in expanding collaboration in tourism and agriculture. Dr. Hunter further commended the recent transformation of Addis Ababa, describing it as a sign of Ethiopia's progress.
Progress is spectacular. The speed and scale of the economic changes and the development of the city are truly impressive. As I mentioned, I've only been here 1 year, but even in that time, from week to week, we can see the speed at which the capital is developing. I think that's a really important connection to the other part of your question around how does the international community engage here in Addis Ababa. You're very right to emphasize the importance of the African Union here. That institution is pivotal to the international community's engagement with Africa through Addis Ababa. And it's so important that with Australia's representation here, having that connection to the African Union headquarters is absolutely fundamental to our engagement, not just with Ethiopia, but with all the member states of the African Union. Another layer to that, of course, is Addis Ababa is quite famous for being a hub of diplomatic engagement. There is a very large diplomatic community here.
On the global stage, Dr. Hunter affirmed Australia's support for reform of the multilateral system, stressing that Africa's voice must be heard more prominently in international decision-making.
We are strongly in favour of not just supporting and strengthening the international multilateral system, which is facing many challenges. So we are very strong supporters of multilateralism, but also we are a strong supporter of reform to the multilateral system to reflect this need for change. And Australia will be now and in the future a very strong supporter of the idea of growing African representation and African voices in the multilateral system. We are absolutely behind that idea, including here in Addis Ababa through the African Union and the UN.
Addressing regional challenges, the ambassador acknowledged the complex problems facing the Horn of Africa and expressed Australia's support for Ethiopia's meaningful contributions to security and development in the region.
There are so many challenges in this region that are long-term and quite difficult to address. In regard to those challenges, Australia strongly supports Ethiopia's pivotal role. The government and the people of Ethiopia have been working very hard to make a meaningful difference to some of these challenges. It can include the regional security challenges that you've just spoken about, but there are other interconnected. Many of these challenges are connected to one another. Yes. So security is connected to climate challenges and climate change and food security. That's all connected to issues around addressing counterterrorism and the like.
Now to business headlines. The World Bank has approved $430 million in financing to support Tunisia's energy sector reform and transition. The funding will go to the Tunisian Energy Reliability, Efficiency and Governance Enhancement Program, designed to boost efficiency, governance and renewable energy deployment, the bank said in a statement on November 11, 2025. The 5-year program includes $30 million in concessional financing from the Climate Investment Funds. It aims to help Tunisia establish a sustainable, reliable and affordable electricity supply while cutting carbon emissions and improving sector governance. The new funding complements ongoing initiatives such as the Tunisia-Italy Power Interconnection Project, the Energy Sector Improvement Project, and advisory services from the International Finance Corporation and the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. The Fund for Export Development in Africa, the investment arm of the African Export-Import Bank, announced a $300 million strategic investment. The funding will go to the Africa Minerals and Metals Processing Platform, a company focused on mineral extraction and processing. The investment aims to strengthen local capacity for processing, value creation, and industrial development around Africa's natural resources. A2MP plans to expand into new markets and develop processing facilities for rare earths, manganese, bauxite, and other critical minerals used in battery manufacturing and green technologies. A2MP founder Gagan Gupta said the partnership represents a major boost for the continent's industrialization efforts. Afreximbank President Dr. George Elombi said the investment will generate thousands of direct and indirect jobs, support the transfer of technical know-how, and stimulate the growth of local industries. Moving on to sport news. Uganda has been selected to host the CAF African Schools Football Championship Zonal Qualifiers 2026. Jane Sisinde, the interim executive director of the Council of East and Central Africa Football Associations, confirmed that the tournament will be held in Uganda. 10 teams for the boys and 8 for the girls have already confirmed participation. Sisinde also highlighted that in addition to the competition, CAF's ongoing capacity building programs will be conducted. This will include the Young Reporters Program, Young Referee Program, Young Medical Officers Program, CAF the licensed coach courses, and CAF safeguarding workshops. The Confederation of African Football has announced a landmark partnership with Suzuki Motor Corporation, confirming the global automotive brand as an official global partner for several major continental tournaments. The agreement will see Suzuki play a key role in 4 flagship CAF competitions. CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe expressed his excitement about new collaboration, describing it as another important step in strengthening the commercial and global appeal of African football. We are proud to welcome Suzuki to the CAF family, Dr. Motsepe said. Their partnership reflects the growing confidence in the global brands have in CAF competitions and African football as a whole. The partnership is expected to enhance the fun, experience and visibility of CAF tournaments while offering Suzuki a powerful platform to engage millions of football fans across the continent and beyond. That's all for this time. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.